Joseph. And it's Burks. At the 2. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. And it's good. 2 points. Granted, it's a shooter's league, and we're seeing more and more big men float out to the perimeter and knocking them down.
Well, B.A., the game has evolved, and the shooting, particularly for the perimeter, but every once in a while, go mix it up and take advantage of your size mismatch in the paint.
Fantastic replay we just saw of the Mobile One drive.
With the lead they have, you might think they'd start to settle, but they are still going at the rim strong.
Here's Wiseman, and the layup. Is good off the glass.
They're punishing those late defensive rotations, getting good looks inside throughout the half.
Time called here. The Grizzlies decide to talk it over, coming off that win against the Sixers.
Yeah, they hit the court last game with some serious attitude, especially on offense.
And they backed it up with their play, got production from everyone, and they were able to walk the walk on the offensive end.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Clark is checked in for Morant. Jackson comes in for Anthony. Bane, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jones in for Paul. Cunningham passes to Wiseman. Inside. And it's Cunningham missing.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now. And in Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, the Pistons taking arguably the 2 best athletes in the 22 draft. The youth movement is on, and Detroit is definitely fun to watch.
And the Pistons with possession here. For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 4 here in the second quarter. Pass to Ivy. Driving to the basket. It's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. Detroit will have another go. Duren, he's checked in for Wiseman.
Now returning on the floor for your Pistons, Duren.
Off the inbound. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
First personal
Just
foul.
so active. I love the passion Durham brings to this game. And the skill set, too, is developing.
And for players, greatness can be defined so many ways, but giving back has to be a component of that. Wouldn't you say, Grant?
Well, to whom much is given, much is expected. In BA, I agree 100%. Players today understand the impact that they can have on others. I love that about the league, the players, the coaches, everyone involved, using this gift to make a change and a positive impact throughout the world.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Anthony's checked in for Clark. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Desmond Bane. And it's Paul in for Jones. Paul with the double. Bogdanovich against Leonard. Pass to Ivy. Back to Bogdanovich. Shot clock at 6. Detroit, no good that time either.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Here's Iverson. Here's a 3 from Paul. Duren with a rebound.
In the first quarter, he was raining down threes. That's not the case here in the second.
Pass to Bogdanovich. Here's Cunningham. It's not going to go for him. Ooh, solid defense from Anthony.
He's been held scoreless tonight, really just unable to make any sort of impact.
Man, good whistle there.
Marvin Bagley the third. First personal foul.
The first one falls.
Shooting for Memphis. Iverson.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Detroit has gone 0 for 2 from outside in the second quarter. Pass to Cunningham. Here's Duren. Rebounded by Kawhi Leonard. Memphis has gone 5 of 6 from three-point land so far. And it's slammed in by Paul.
And this is a throwback performance from Paul, flat out taking over in a big way right now.
For Detroit, they've gotten only 2 of 8 field goals to go in the second.
And Kawhi Leonard, one of 3 perimeter players to win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards. It's him, Sidney Moncrief, and a young Dennis Rodman.
He knows his job on the glass, and he does it well, cleaning it up.
Pass to Ivy. Now here's Bogdanovich.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
A minute 58 left in the first half of basketball. 5 on the clock. Here's Ivy. Offline from the top of the key. And for his career, Kawhi Leonard has more steals than fouls, Greg.
You know, B.A., he and Jimmy Butler, I believe, the only 2 players to achieve that after a decade in the league. A pretty remarkable achievement.
Detroit with the ball. Following the bucket by the Grizzlies. Pass to Duren. 1:25 left in the first half of this one. They get it back. Bagley. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
Everyone in the building saw the obvious contact.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Memphis. Ja Morant, he's checked in for Memphis. Brooks comes in for Leonard.
Getting themselves to the line this quarter is a good way to get their offense rolling.
And this is part of Morant's role. As a guard, he's responsible for finding the open man.
This Pistons squad struggling. Pass to Joseph. Outside Burks. And here's Hayes. He's guarded by Paul. Left side Bagley. Elbow shot on the way. The shot no good. Now Memphis takes it the other way. And this is their first time matched up with the Pistons this year.
And they dominated this team last season. Big difference in talent level.
Sinks it from distance.
He's looked practically unstoppable this quarter. The defense, yeah, well, they haven't had many answers for him.
Pass to Joseph. Hayes with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game from him.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
Okay, look out.
Man.
Wow.
Balanced play has given them the lead and also quieted this crowd.
They've played fantastic ball, and you can feel the hush that's come over this crowd.
Now another view of that incredible Mobile One drive.
Yeah, he made that drive look easy, but that had a high degree of difficulty.
1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Hayes, the pass to Burks. Here's Duran. Back to Burks. Will it go? That one is off. Here's Paul. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
Great job ending the quarter on a high note.
That's the play that pumps up the whole team, and they'll try to carry that energy into the next period.
Oh, what a performance by Chris Paul. He's been the story for the Grizzlies. Oh, what a quarter. He was absolutely on fire offensively. Back to the game after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Chris Paul has been the story in this one. He had 40 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. It was a return to form for him tonight after struggling in their last outing. Kenny, what was your take on Memphis?
Well, it comes down to confidence. From the opening tip, these guys had that swag. They had the attitude that you can't beat us, we could only beat ourselves.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
When you look at their multiple areas of weakness, for me, it starts with their perimeter defense. Disorganization, chaos, a lot of wide open looks. They have to communicate better and stay connected to the shooters.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Chris Paul having a dominant impact in this game.
Yeah, tonight he's done a great job of slashing through the lane and finishing.
And you love that mindset he has going at the rim. He hasn't settled for anything, and he's been the aggressor all game long.
On the court right now for the Grizzlies. Kawhi Leonard out there with Anthony. Then there's Chris Paul. Then there's Ja Morant.
His big night continues. He is fueling this lead.
Outstanding dribble drive. And that replay was brought to you by Mobile One.
And you know, B.A., even with the game well in control, he's going right at the rim. I love it.
Leonard against Bogdanovich. To the middle. Here's Ivy. And he makes it on the layup. Ivy's got 6.
Just finding room to go to work inside. Ivy really relies on his physical abilities to get a close-range shot.
Well, Grant, Ivy gets a lot of attention for his scoring, but he can also lock you down at the other end.
Oh, yes, he can, B.A. He's big, active, and athletic, too. A strong on-ball defender as well. He'll also jump passing lanes, causing deflections. He looks to flip turnovers into points.
And a minute.
Advantage is a good indicator of how this game has gone. More points coming from inside. In that respect, they've been the more aggressive team.
Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
Back to Cunningham. Goes back up. Pass to Duran. And here's Bagley. Here's Ivy. He's got 6. And it's good for 2. Give him 8 points now.
No, it's just ridiculous. He's just an absolute surgeon when he has the ball. This man is surgical. There is no way to slow him down when he wants to score.
And that one's good. Paul.
And shooting-wise, he's been fantastic, helping to build this lead.
Outside Bogdanovich. Back to Cunningham. Hauled in by Paul.
Still looking for his first make, and they could really use the help right now.
Driving inside, and it's slammed in by Paul.
Even in the later stages of his career, Paul's handles remain incredible. He's got that thing on a string. What a move.
Just under 2.5 minutes into this third quarter now. And stolen by Paul. Out on his own on the break. And good! There's another! And that gives him 51.
Making it look easy. Credit them for making the right halftime adjustment.
Oh, yeah, I can't agree more. They haven't missed.
Wiseman, he's checked in for the Pistons. Stewart comes in for Bagley. Jones, he's checked in for Memphis. Here's Cunningham, looking for his first basket still in this one. Well, Richard, 17 years for you as a player. If you were to give some advice to someone starting their playing career right now, what do you think that would be?
Oh, it would always be get your routine down. Get your pregame routine. Get your summer routine. You got to figure out what it is that makes your game work. Because it's hard as you get older. NBA careers don't. Last very long, but if you put your routine, you put your game first, everything else will fall in line.
From 10 feet away. Misses off the left iron.
They've shown that power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
Here's Iverson. Drops in the three. 20 points for him.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
Most nights this shot would have been his, but the defender gave him just enough trouble.
Free throw line jumper. Again, the Grizzlies. Good for two more.
And usually teams go on runs from a bunch of layups and dunks, but that's not the case here.
Pass to Ivy. To end the run. Buries it from three. Ivy's got 11 points.
It's just one of those nights where he's been very good, but his team is losing, and that's just an odd feeling.
Here's Iverson. And the Grizzlies get another bucket right there.
And there's some nice chemistry on offense. They're just taking what the defense allows.
Cunningham passes to Bogdanovich. Down low. Here's Wiseman. Lays it up and banks it in. He's got 6.
Love to see him inside passing like this, as well as guys being on the same page.
Puts up a 3. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
And another one. That's 5 total threes on the night from him so far.
Anthony on the double. Pass to Wiseman. That bucket makes him 6 for 10 in the contest.
Something seemed to click for him at halftime. He's looked a lot more focused, and the game is just...
Anthony grabs the board. Anthony's got 4 rebounds now. Driving in. Whoa!
Nice!
What a huge jam!
Great finish. Showing a little artistry on that take. I could watch moves like that all day.
Wiseman inside, pounded by Morant. And that one's good. Wiseman's got 4 points now in the quarter. Just 1 second separating the shot clock.
Shot.
Oh, it's timing was impeccable. Pass to Iverson. The 3. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
Since halftime, they have been efficient and effective, making Coach very happy.
Well, I credit some of that to their communication. Out on the floor. They are attacking as a unit.
And as we conclude the third, pretty much a blowout here.
the Grizzlies, 87.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. So it's Detroit now. They've got Alec Burks. Hayes is out there with Corey Joseph. Then it's Isaiah Stewart, and it's Livers in at power forward. That's the group for Detroit right now. Here's Joseph, guarded by Bain. Shot clock at 5. Outside Burks. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Well, since Commissioner Silver took over, Grant, it seems the league's dress code is now leaving more, let's say, wiggle room. You good with that?
Yeah, a lot of wiggle room, at least compared to when I played, when it was more of a business casual environment. But I think it's great. Let the players be themselves. Let them be authentic. And I think in a weird kind of way, it endears these players to the fans at home watching on TV.
Like a bunch of runway models before and after every game.
No question, no question.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Jackson, he's checked in for Clark. Leonard comes in for Brooks. And it's Chris Paul in for Desmond Bain.
I love how creative Paul is at penetrating inside. Talented at reading angles and exploiting the holes in the D.
Here's Stewart. And finished off by Stewart.
Making the most of the second chance opportunity.
Hey, the hustle is real, and the hustle is rewarded.
Operation Feed the Horse. Feed him early.
Stewart inside. Outside Burks. The 3 is up. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Jackson outside. Here's Iverson. And he converts the layup.